Hi, this is Dr. Victoria Nalule. I'm the CEO of NEM Energy, that is Nalule Energy and Minerals Consultancy. I'm also an author of 8 books on energy and mining. So in today's video, I want to address the question that was asked, and that is, how is the African history still influencing the mining sector? So in my book on mining and the law in Africa, I look at the history of mining and how this history is playing a major role, especially with respect to the current challenges we're experiencing in the African mining sector. So the first thing is, there are various issues to look at when we're talking about the history, but in this video, because it's a short video, I want to focus on the issue of ownership. Remember, when most countries were colonized, the minerals belonged to the colonial masters. So this issue of ownership is very key, because up to now, although the independent African countries or developing countries own the minerals, you're seeing that in reality, the revenue does not belong to them. And what do I mean? So after the colonization of Africa, all the minerals belong to the colonial masters. And after independence, obviously African states and other developing countries, based on the sovereignty of our natural resources, they were owning the minerals. But however, if you look at the various mining laws, policies, and fiscal regimes that were enacted in that period, because in my book I categorize them into 4 generations of mining laws. You look at the first generation, although the minerals were belonging to the governments or to the citizens, in reality, it's the foreign masters through the multinational mining companies that were owning these minerals. And how was the ownership indirect? Because the fiscal regimes at the time, the mining laws at the time, they were only beneficial to the multinational mining companies, which are in sense from these developed countries or from the former colonial masters. So how is history playing out right now? Because now I'm just looking at I'm focusing on the issue of ownership. Although over the years, we've had a transformed mining sector, especially the legal and regulatory framework, in recent years, the laws are still not beneficial to the citizens. How? You would look at the fiscal regime and understand that even the fiscal regime is not that beneficial in most countries. And even if it's beneficial, on paper it's good, but implementation is very hard. And then the most important thing, the other thing, is the issue of refineries. Most of the raw materials or minerals, they just leave the continent in a raw form. That, in sense, implies that although on paper you are saying that you're owning these minerals, in reality, you're only benefiting 1%. So whoever is taking the 99% is the owner of those minerals. So that is the impact of history on the mining sector, specifically on the issue of ownership. The question now is, do developing countries really own these minerals, or still these minerals are indirectly owned by the foreign colonial masters through the multinational mining companies? We have seen what is happening in Niger and other various West African countries with the issue of the mining sector, and it points only to one thing: who owns these minerals? Is history changed or it's unchanged in the mining sector? Get a copy of my book on mining law. Follow me on YouTube. Involve us at Nalule Energy and Minerals Consultancy to learn more about these issues with respect to the mining sector, and also involve us in consultancies. Thank you very much.